Welcome to episode number 20, The Mentors. Hey, Mentors, we've got an anonymous caller here. His name is Wayne. Say hello to Wayne.
Hey, how you going, Wayne?
Thanks for having me on here.
Where are you from? We understand you're from the Inner West.
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Okay, tell us quickly a little bit about your marketplace and just maybe how your year's going so far.
Yeah, so my marketplace is predominantly Victorian homes. There's a few Federation homes as well, but generally terraces, semi-detached homes.
Yep.
Of an older style.
What's your average sale price around there in that inner west of Sydney?
Oh, probably around the 1.5.
1.5. And how's that market at the moment going?
Yeah, it's very stable at the moment.
Yep.
There is still buyers out there, not the same frenzy that we once saw 12 months ago.
I think no one's seeing that at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think, that's like you say, it's happening everywhere. So, but it's okay. I don't think it's as bad as they're saying either. I think it's a part of the market where we get a lot of upsizes.
Yep.
Which is good to work with. So people that are looking to make that next move, so they're not really too worried about the market. Well, some of them are, but some of them are not, and they know it's just lifestyle, circumstantial changes that they need to make. So they need a larger home.
Absolutely. Okay. So, Wayne, thanks for joining us here on The Mentors this afternoon. What's your pressing question for us? You got Clinton, you got Matt, and you got myself. Hit us, buddy.
Oh, hey guys. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing and taking on board your advice. So, the situation that I'm in is I've got a vendor who is in a situation where they have to sell their home. If they don't sell it, the banks will sell it. And we all know what that means.
God, we're hearing a lot of that at the moment in the marketplace, a lot of financial stress happening. Yeah, go on. So they have to sell.
So the banks have been on them for 12 months. This is what I understand. And they finally made the decision to put on the market.
Yep.
And obviously they're not getting the feedback that they want to hear, and they're not getting interest that they want in order for them to make it, worthwhile in their own terms. But they fail to understand that if they don't sell it this time round, the longer they take, it'll sell for less. And we all know that the banks, will charge them all sorts of extra additional fees on top for facilitating the whole sale, which is not a favourable position for them. I've recently had an interaction with them where basically they said, we want to terminate our agreement with you because they're not happy with what they're saying and they want to give it to another agent. To which I've responded, as long as you pay your marketing, that's outstanding, no problems.
How long have they been on the market for, Wayne?
It's just been on the market for a week.
A week?
A few days.
And they want to take it off you already? Matty,
Correct.
What advice could you give our friend Wayne here from the Inner West?
A couple of things, Wayne. How far do you think they are away from true market value?
Look, I think
percentage-wise,
it's very hard.
Don't mention dollars because people might identify the property. Give me percentage.
I think they're probably $300,000 away from reality.
Right. Okay.
And I think the biggest problem is the person that they have that's really interested in the home is their neighbour, who's knows their circumstances as well, which doesn't help the whole situation.
Okay, so you them wanting to terminate after 1 week, that would align. That's a red light for me that they're not getting on with yourself personally. Is that right?
Well, they're just not liking the fact that I'm telling them what people are telling me.
Because really, this is not a criticism at yourself, but after 1 week, would you really have a true snapshot as to where it's at to be able to be really, it's a delicate situation, somebody under mental pressure from the banks and things like that, because people make, desperate people make desperate decisions and you need to manage that. So I'd say this to you, rather than lose the listing, is there somebody else in the office that's as good as you or, as experienced who you could bring in to work on the sale?
Yes, there is, yeah.
That's what I would do immediately. I'd say, look, before we go and change agents, because that's not a good look from your point of view, I'd sell the fact that if they switch agents straight away, the market can see, it's changed agents, and that could be a red flag immediately. Why don't we sit with, bring another agent in to work with them, and because it could be a personality clash. I've never seen or heard after 1 week an owner withdrawing something unless they're not happy with the agent.
But you know what it is too, Matt? Like, when you're under financial stress, people just don't think. They make irrational decisions.
Correct.
And, they look for blame, and it could just be, let me blame this guy, Wayne, this agent that hasn't sold my place in 1 week because maybe they're expecting a miracle in the first week. From my end, I would say to you this, Wayne, is number one, always put yourself in the other person's shoes. I always think, because you don't know what's going on through their life right now, what financial pressures they might be finding. So number one. Number two, I think you've got to come from a place of empathy as well, rather than try, sort of get into this defensive mode. The third thing that I know about what great agents do is they're actually really good at doing two things: being caring, but also candid. You know what? If you're too candid all the time and too direct and not showing that empathy, being the caring bit, people start to resent you. And I will also see it the other way, where I see agents becoming too caring and not giving the people the truth of where they need to be. And then that becomes a dysfunctional relationship between the vendor and the agent.
Yeah, totally. If we waved a magic wand and took this back another 2 weeks, would you do anything different to what you've done now?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad you said that, because the first way of accepting there's a challenge is actually admitting it.
Yeah.
So we don't need to know what that is on live today, but if you know what it is, I think that could be the first one, admitting that, and then looking at what you could do with the second party, because it's just easy to throw the white flag up, hand the listing back, give it to someone else. That person's going to sell it for what it's worth, and you'll miss out on a commission. And genuinely, if you are the right agent for the right job, you should fight for the listing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, thank you very much. That's really helpful. Thank you.
So what could you do? Just, what could you do? And here's a question for you, Matt. What could you do to repair the relationship? When someone is that I want to take the listing away, I want to do this.
I've always, if there's ever been a pressure cooker situation that I've ever been in, I've never actually personally been in one, touch wood, but I've had to defuse ones over the years in my career for other people. A third-party interjection always works really well. So if I'm selling Claudio's house and I'm doing everything I can and I'm not just breaking through, I'd probably bring Clinton in, just to use the room here we're sitting in, to say, look, I want to show you Clinton's perspective, because he's also out in the market, he's doing things. And it's a third-party endorsement from somebody else. It just breaks the cycle. So that's what I would normally do, Clouds, in that situation.
Yeah, and I think that's a great advice, because they hear a different voice.
Yep.
Someone else is different who's fresh.
And that person might just have I'm not saying you haven't got empathy or compassion. I'm not exactly sure, but it's going to need somebody they feel is on their side in this journey.
Correct.
It's not somebody who just wants to make a quick sale. Because if it's someone to make a quick sale, mate, I'd hand the keys back this afternoon and work on something else, if that's what you really want to achieve. You don't strike me to be someone that you probably wouldn't have made this call if you didn't think that was you need to build a client for life out of this. And the way to do it is show them that you're going to war for them.
Correct. You're on their side.
Yeah, you're going to war. You're not actually on their side. You're actually going to go. You're going to get the highest price possible in the market, whatever it takes, 7 days a week, 365, to make sure that bank doesn't get that set of keys in their hands, because it'll be a fire sale otherwise.
So, Wayne, what could you do? What would be your next sort of 3 steps with these people, you feel? What would be the next 3 steps that you could do with this listing right now?
Well, I'll get a third party in the office to contact the client.
Can I just pull you up on that? Sorry, were you going where I was going?
Yeah, okay. Well, you go.
It's not a contact, it's a face-to-face meeting.
That's what I was going to say.
It's not just a random phone call. And it's an empathetic call. It goes like this, Wayne. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I've just been thinking about how I can I really want to support you on this journey. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down tomorrow at 2:00 with Claudio Encina. We're going to sit down with a proper plan to get this sold for you at the absolute maximum price. Is 2:00 suit or is 4:00 better? That's how I wouldn't be saying I'm just going to get some random to give a phone call.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be going, who's this? Like, Wayne's not calling me.
Yeah.
He's obviously just throwing the ball to someone else.
Correct.
So can you see the difference it's the same outcome, but see the difference in the delivery?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Doing the face-to-face, introducing that third party. Secondly is I would also think about doing, like being in their shoes and throwing the empathy. I learned this years ago, feel, felt, found. And like just going, I understand how you feel. Other clients just like you in the similar position that you guys are in at the moment have felt very much the same way. But what our best clients have found is once we sat down and we put a really good clear map and strategy, and I brought Matt Lahood on board for us to work together, we were able to achieve top dollar for your home and you guys get a great result because that's what you want. Yeah? And I think we've just had...
I think he dropped out.
He's just dropped out. He's just dropped out. Anything
Clouds,
else that you
what was that? Feel, found, felt.
Feel, found.
Feel, felt, found.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I've heard that before too.
It was too fast. You said it too fast.
Yeah.
For me.
Sort of like, first
got it.
Try and get onto their level. I understand how you feel. Other clients just like you, so you're relating it, have felt, I understand how you feel. Other clients just like you have felt the same way. But what our best clients have found is once we were able to put a strategy in place and a roadmap, we were able to recreate the buyer excitement, re-energize the listing, which then attracted offers, which then led to getting top dollar for your home and they feel good about it. Because you want to feel good, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay, let's use our strategy. Yeah. So the feel, felt, found goes really well.
I think.
So I hope Wayne got something out of the call. He's actually dropped out. So you guys know it's always live here at the Mentors. Nothing is pre-recorded in terms of what we do. But
I think this thing of empathy is like I want to like feel, felt, found. I've heard of it before. We used to do a sales one called LSCPA.
What's that? What's
Listen, share, CPA, present, ask. What was the C? Listen, share. Fuck, I can't remember now.
Okay, did you swear then?
Beep. I used to.
But it was
I think he hasn't rang back, so I reckon he's gone straight down to this listing now to sort
it out. I hope so. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm only joking.
But the empathy thing is, I think, a massive. Like I don't know the ins and outs of sales that well from a real estate side of things, but I know that in stark comparison to the previous call we had. Without putting yourself in that person's shoes, you're never really going to be able to communicate effectively with them. Like,
so true.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a scary situation. I'm trying to imagine myself right now in that situation where the bank is breathing down my neck for the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm $300,000 different with an agent. If they're not showing empathy to me, I think they don't care.
I'm kicking them to the curb.
Yeah,
totally.
Totally. I couldn't agree with you.
You just want someone in that. You want an agent in every situation who feels like a bodyguard. That's really the reality. They're putting themselves in front of you to protect you from the market.
Correct.
That's really how it should feel. You and I, Clouds, you've sold hundreds of properties.
Totally.
I've sold hundreds. Like every vendor that's really loved me over the years has gone, Matt, you absolutely you milked it for us. You got the last dollar. You didn't, And
you left no stone unturned. You squeezed that lemon dry.
That's a really red flag. I've got to say, in 30 years, I've never seen anyone in 1 week can someone unless there was something really bad.
Yeah.
I wonder if that relationship was good from the start or not.
Yeah, I wonder.
Because if I was ever in a situation where I had that email from somebody, I'd be like, yeah, see ya.
Yeah.
Like it's not easy to have somebody not want to work with me.
But after a week, it's not so. It's hard enough to come on the market, get photos, this, that, the other, signboards, marketing. To can someone after 1 week, they got to be passionate about canning you.
Yeah, totally.
We done?
Exactly. We're done. It's a wrap.
All right.
Here we go.
I reckon he's run out of juice.
The weekend has started. No, it hasn't started for poor Matty.
He's run out of juice. I'm only warming up for the night shift, boys. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Got something great from this episode? It would mean the world to us if you passed it on. Tune in each week as we mentor a new agent. Have a question? Want to be on the show? Get in touch with Claudio Encina, Matt Lahood, or visit our Facebook page. The Mentors is brought to you by Sprinkler.media.